поделиться действительно для того, чтобы залечить какие-то свои раны.
Маш, скажи, пожалуйста, я знаю, ты уже не первый год являешься активным участником движения «Станем друзьями». Вот что для тебя является движением «Станем друзьями»?
«Станем друзьями» — это всегда особенное время, здесь всегда особенная атмосфера. И всегда, когда даже, может быть, где-то чем-то занят и не очень хочется, устал, все равно понимаешь, что здесь именно на этом месте тебя всегда ждут, тебе всегда рады. И когда ты сюда попадаешь, всякую усталость просто снимают рукой, ты попадаешь в такую атмосферу, где ты окружен теплом, заботой, какой-то огромной радостью, которую излучают все участники. Но от этого невозможно отказаться.
Для меня, прежде всего, движение «Станем друзьями» — это движение, в котором движется Бог, в котором много любви, много взаимопонимания, где каждый брат и каждая сестра, они просто раскрепощаются и в ходе общения, в ходе дружбы, в ходе семинаров, служений, мероприятий, которые проводят «Станем друзьями», Бог работает именно с сердцем, исцеляет сердце, исцеляет от одиночества, исцеляет от разочарования, исцеляет от обид.
Во-первых, здесь здоровый фундамент. Я уже об этом говорю, вот, что мне нравится фундамент, основанный на Слове Божьем. И, конечно, параллельно мы знакомимся с сестрами, с братьями. Те наставления, которые мы получаем, они очень нам тоже нужны, важны и актуальны.
Ну что, мы чуть-чуть познакомились с нами, кто мы такие, да? Ну что, успокоились, все чуть-чуть погуляли, чуть-чуть подышали. Давайте мы с вами начнем семинар для семейных пар.
Вообще наша специализация, конечно, не замужние, не женатые, основная. Но мы уже 6 лет в браке, и есть немножко чем поделиться. Поэтому я думаю, этот семинар он также будет интересен.
А есть люди, которые одиноки, еще не имеют спутника жизни? Есть?
Есть, да?
Хорошо, мы думаем, что вы тоже получите для себя очень полезной много информации. Вы знаете, ровно 8 лет назад, когда я была в глубокой депрессии, Бог мне сказал поехать в Киев с Йошкар-Олы, с России. Йошкар-Олу, город даже вы не знаете, скорее всего, многие из вас, столица Республики Мариэл. Бог мне сказал поехать на конференцию в Посольство Божье на годовщину. И я приехала, я 4 дня ходила по палацу спорта, это было 15-летие. И я задавала Богу вопрос, зачем я приехала сюда 4 дня, потому что ответа не было. И когда уже я уезжала обратно в поезде, Бог пришел и сказал, и дал видение этого движения. И движению 8 лет. В основном мы, конечно, служим одинокими, и слава Богу, и вообще нам честь. Вы, наверное, никто про нас ничего не знаете, да, мы первый раз здесь. И мы, честно вам сказать, очень боимся, не то чтобы боимся, но боязно все-таки, да. И мы хотим попросить помолиться за нас, благословите нас, и мы хотим попросить Бога, чтобы Он использовал нас для того, чтобы донести какую-то истину, которая работает в нашей личной жизни, семейной жизни, да, и, чтобы вы что-то смогли принять от Господа. Аминь. Кто меня слышит, тот давайте встанет сейчас. Я так проверю, какая наша аудитория, а какая не наша. Спасибо большое. Те, которые меня слышат, давайте встанем и помолимся. Аллилуйя. Отец, во имя Иисуса Христа, Господь, мы благодарим Тебя и просим Тебя, во имя Сына Твоего, Господь Бог, чтобы сейчас Ты благословил нас, и Слово Твое, и этот семинар был, Господи Боже, действительно приправлен солью. Открой какие-то драгоценности, Господь, которые Ты сокрыл в нас, есть, и которые, может быть, еще не открыты Твоему народу. Во имя Иисуса Христа молим о Твоей работе через нас. Используй нас как сосуд для того, чтобы говорить к Твоему народу. Спасибо Тебе, Господь, великий, всемогущий. Аминь.
Аминь. Оператор, если можно, первый слайд презентации о почтении.
Вы знаете, служа одиноким людям, мы знаем, насколько бывает иногда очень сильная боль у одиноких людей, что у них нет близкого человека. Бывает очень серьезная и очень глубокая рана в сердцах людей, потому что у них нет близкого человека. У нас училась одна девушка с Германии, у нее родители умерли, и никого не было. И она делилась, она насколько переживала эту боль, одиночество, что вообще, если ее не станет, никого не будет рядом. И вы знаете, одинокие люди, которые, я вышла замуж в 35 лет, первый раз, в 19 лет пришла к Богу. Я понимаю, насколько им больно. И сейчас, будучи замужем, я ценю семью. Я ценю, что у меня есть близкий человек. Я этим дорожу. Это большая, очень серьезное, такое большое благословение. Это очень серьезный дар от Господа, что у вас есть супруг и у вас есть супруга. И мы хотим, чтобы вы это понимали. Недавно ехала в такси, слышала песню, мирскую песню. Смотри, какой хороший муж живет рядом с тобой. Это же благо прямо от Бога. Мирская песня. Я еще водителя переспрашиваю, это реально эта песня о муже поется? Он говорит, да. Я думаю, боже мой, неужели народ начал умнеть? Неужели народ начал умнеть? Почему? Потому что бывает, что мы пренебрегаем этим. Поэтому мы просим вас, зная проблему одиноких людей, мы просим вас, цените то, что вы имеете. Цените то, что рядом с вами есть ваш супруг или супруга. Следующий момент хотим сказать, что бывает, люди живут там по 10, по 20 лет вместе. Да? Есть такие люди по 30 лет, по 40 лет вместе живут с супругами. Но бывает проблема одиночества еще страшнее в семье. Когда ты имеешь супруга или супругу, но ты одинок в своей собственной семье. Эта проблема не просто большие, пар, которые долго вместе. Это проблема молодых пар, что люди, соединяясь, они остаются чужими людьми.
Сегодня мы будем говорить именно о том, как этого избежать. То есть мы будем давать пункты, принципы, как избежать того, чтобы вот этого одиночества не приходило в семью. Можно быть женатым, можно быть замужем, но жить, знаете, сами по себе. У каждого своя жизнь. Это реальная проблема. Сегодня будем также затронем эту проблему.
Итак, давайте, наверное, начнем.
Я, наверное, хочу начать с того, сказать, что мы 6 лет в браке. Я хочу сказать, что я счастлив в браке. Вот действительно, положа на руку руку на сердце, я хочу сказать, что я действительно счастлив в браке, и я благодарен Богу за мою жену. И знаете, один раз я был на мужском ретрите у пастора Сандея, и там также пастор вызывает братьев на сцену, один брат делился, говорит, что вот в моей семье все классно, все круто, то есть я доволен. А пастор спрашивает, а жена твоя довольна? Он говорит, жена тоже довольна. Я помню, пастор говорит, а давай сейчас позвоним твоей жене и спросим у нее, говорит, потому что с твоей стороны, да, все классно. Говорит. И я помню, прямо на ретрите брали трубку, набирали номер жены, и лично пастор Сандей представился, говорит, я пастор Сандей, скажите, а вот вы счастливы, живя со своим мужем? То есть вы хорошо себя чувствуете? И жена сказала, да, хорошо на самом деле. Но я не хочу говорить за свою жену. Пусть она сама скажет, ты счастлива в браке?
Конечно, я счастлива в браке. И вы знаете, счастье – это то, что мы сами творим. Согласны? И до того, как я вышла замуж, я изучила, я прочитала все книги про брак и семью. Я, будучи там далеко от Центральной посольской церкви, я прослушала все семейные курсы, как-то нам попали Иисуса Навина, где пастор Людмила Лещенко учила. Я помню, Ковальчук была такая, она тоже учила. Мы все это прослушали.
She taught us all about marriage, and I just listened to everything and anything. And one of the points that I want to emphasize on is the point where she said, respect. I'm talking to women now, and later my husband will talk about husband. The point is respecting the husband. Now, my wife talked about marriage, and that I'm wise, but the point is because Angela, as my wife, understands how to respect the husband, because she studied it and she learned how to respect the husband. So it's not because I'm wise, it's just a secret that is embedded in respecting the husband. It's one of the points that is being emphasized in almost every seminars. A wise woman builds her home, a foolish woman uses her hand to destroy it. So many people get married and they stay for 5-6 years and they get divorced. But what I think wisdom is not how old you are or how wise you are to get married, is your understanding, your understanding on how to respect your husband, how to respect each other, how to see into the future, the wisdom of seeing and understanding what is to happen. So wisdom always sees farther than what is right now, always sees beyond now. So before we start this topic, do you know that 50% of women, 50% of marriages get divorced, and this is not supposed to be, because what I think is women are very strong, they are very wise, they are very they have more stamina, and I think that a woman, just like the Russian word said, should stand behind the husband and is giving the husband like the force that encourages and pushes is the pillar of the home. And a happy home, of course, is just determined by a happy wife. So talking about the balance that's supposed to be in the home, so it's not supposed to be like a tyrant husband just oppressing the wife. It's not supposed to be that. Like the slide says, happiness, a happy wife knows how to balance the home. There's supposed to be harmony, there's supposed to be a connection, a relationship, a flow in the home. So the wife is not supposed to give all the tasks and force and job to the husband and just gives him lots of load. She's supposed to be as a support, and when she does that, she's idle, and just there's that attraction is not there from the husband. So also the husbands are supposed to take the wives along, and doesn't like when a wife just forgets herself. Husbands, guys, men don't like when wives or women just forget who they are as a person. A woman should ask herself, if I'm going to get married, who am I going to get married to? going to get married to a man who is like a dictator. She's supposed to have her own feelings and opinions and um, her own personality. So before we got married, we created a relationship, of course, to try and understand the kind of woman I'm going to marry. If can she be an individual as a person? Is she so I tried to show some sort of dominion over her, and just to see how she would react. She did not, and she reacted in a way that I liked, because she did not show her strength, trying to oppose me in a foolish way, if I want to use the word. So that's what I really like, that she was still an individual as a person. Women should understand that you are like princesses and should not have to react based on your strength. So there was a guy who was in a relationship with about 5 to 6 sisters, and I asked myself, so who is he going to settle with? So I thought maybe the man should start coming to church, because we always count how many men are around, or how many men are available to get married to the sisters in church. But God tells me that there is comfort in the church, and women are sometimes very dominating. So we have to learn this topic, how to form, how to talk to men, how to communicate with men, because men like to feel like they are heroes, and they want to feel important. And this point is what we need to look at right now, and we want to talk about right now. The next point is like in my family, there is no man that to look up to. So my dad drank, and there was no man for me to look up to. But when I started praying, and I started coming to church and learning, I met this man, and I met this man and his family, and he was a man that I could look up to, a man that was a real man, and was nothing like what was in my family. So the next slide that has a picture. It's written about men were created. They are created to give glory to God, and not to show how great or how their strength can carry them. How women should learn how to relate to men, and how to see respect and honor them, because I had to learn how to relate, how to communicate with men. Because if you don't know how to respect a man and show him, give him the chance to be a man, you might end up pursuing lots of them away. Do you agree? I know you're all tired, but please just try to answer. Thank you. How to carry yourself as a wise woman. The first thing she does, she doesn't nag on her husband. The first thing a wise woman does, she doesn't nag, she doesn't shout and nag at her husband. I want to say that this seminar is for men. They like to listen to something like this. They like to listen to things like this. For women, it might be difficult to hear, but I think, dear sisters, you need to know how to live in harmony with your husband. So, like my friend said, men, they like to be the first. They like to be in charge. Have you noticed that men like to be in charge and like to be on top of the game? So, and for yes, men like to be the first and want to show their strength, and women might get offended by that. And when men are not even at home, wherever they find themselves, they like to be in charge. They like to be where they want to be in charge of the situation. And when he comes back home, and when he comes home and you're nagging him and you're not giving him the chance to be a man and to be the hero he knows how to be, then I think that's just wrong. Because when he comes home and he's not given the chance to be a man, to be in charge like he's been outside, then he gets tired of the whole situation. He gets tired of you. You know that. Let me tell you about an example. My friend taught me how to talk to a man, that I like, to just any kind of man. She taught me how to just imagine for yourself, I'm a man, and I'm in front, and behind me there are lots of people behind me with bags, and I'm the man that is in front, and then I see a river. Just imagine for yourself, a woman looks left and right, and then he just turns back and tells people following him to follow him. Let's keep going. A woman, she would just look round the river, and when a woman, she might see everything. She might see everything around them. Man, this is true. Women, we see that there is a bridge, and when a man would say, let's go forward, a woman would say, oh no, let's not go forward, let's not cross the river, let's go using the bridge. What would a real man say? Like, a man would say, let's go forward, let's cross the river, but a woman would say, oh, let's use the bridge. And if you see a woman who says that, and the man just follows her and says, oh, okay, without saying anything, let's just go around using the bridge, just know that that man is a boy that you are controlling. Because a man should say, no, we're going forward and we're not going to use the bridge, let's go forward. What should a wise woman do in that situation? A wise woman should say, oh, let's go straight, let's just cross the river. And then she starts, oh wow, look at, there's a bridge over there. A man would say, oh wow, yes, you're right, there's a bridge, let's go. But a man would think that he is the person who saw the bridge and who is the person taking the decision. So you're just suggesting, you're not making him feel like he's not the person making the decisions. It will not offend you to make sure that your husband thinks he's the person making the decisions. If I start nagging him and start saying, oh, why would you say let's just cross the water without the bridge? I don't think a wise woman should carry herself like that. I don't think she should put herself in a position where she has to argue always with the husband. So let's just work with examples, okay? The next example, there was a situation where a woman, she learned how to respect the husband. She she was on a train and she was supposed to come down from the top. There are different beds on the train, the first and the second, and she was on the second. And a woman, like, is weak and not showing strength, and she was trying to come down, and there was this other lady who was just started commanding the wife, the husband, on how to come down, where to go, where to turn. And the other lady said, you're not supposed to be like that. And the woman's husband just kept doing whatever the woman was commanding him to do. So most of the times we're always behaving like that because we're not always conscious on how to respect the husband, how to respect a man. So just like the woman said, are you sure that's not a breach? Giving the man the chance to be the one to make the decision. It's the same way. Just respect the man and make him feel like he's the man. So I remember when it was a woman here who tried to on the light up using the switch, and then there was another man who was trying to help her using the ladder. And then what did they start doing? They started arguing, and the woman started telling the man, do this, carry up. And then another woman was telling them, you shouldn't shout, you shouldn't tell him what to do, shouldn't do. And then everyone just kept quiet and was looking at the lady. And then someone said, leave the man to find his way on how to on the light. He's going to find a way. Just like carrying two very heavy bags. Which one would you carry up? Would you carry easier? The one that is not very heavy. So that's the same way you should carry yourself. When you carry all the heavy tasks, want to do everything on your own, it weakens you. It doesn't show that you have strength. Just like I'm telling you, can ask my husband that just the moment I stopped trying to act like I have the strength to do everything, that was the day that things got better. You can ask my husband. I always say, I don't know how to do it, even though I don't know how to do it. So just even ordering food from McDonald's, I know how to do it, and he does it, because I always say, I don't know how to order food from McDonald's. So when I went to the women's retreat for 2 days, I understood that women always pity the man, like, he's not doing this, or he's not doing this well. I feel bad, because I understand that it's not right. You're not supposed to pity the man you're not supposed to say anything bad about your husband. It's just not right. I understand that there are women, it happens that women always no matter how active you want to be or show your strength, you teach your children the same thing, and then kids start learning the same thing. Even you don't, just like you don't throw away your kid, you correct your kids every time and everything. Your husband is not your child, and you should not treat him like a kid. So strength, the woman should be in different places, not in the home, in businesses, in church, in just outside. But in the home, she's supposed to be behind the husband, like the neck supporting the husband. So you like I'm asking my wife, do you feel uncomfortable when I am the head? And she says no. So when a woman can be great and beautiful, but she might be better than the man. She might be better than in directing and organizing than the man. But if there will be no harmony in the home when you're always showing the man his fault and making him feel like a small boy. So a woman should be behind the husband, and you make your husband stronger when you are behind him and giving him the right support. Women have a property, a characteristic. They have a property from God. They have something that God made for women to be, that is supporting the husband, and they are way smarter than men, but they have to be behind supporting the man. So she has that property, that characteristics of supporting the husband. We're not using our gifts well from God when we don't support the man, and we're always telling him, oh, what is happening, what are you doing, what are you not doing. We're not helping, we're not using the gift God gave us to. So it is better for the man to just go somewhere else and just, other than being at home. The next thing I want to talk about is how to communicate with the husband well. It's very important to talk to your husband the right way. I had a girl who was under me who just was on the phone and told the guy, oh, Vlad, should come here immediately with 50 grievance. And I thought to myself, why would you talk to a man like that without any kind of respect or any kind of honor? So we have this list where we just keep checking, oh, I've done this, oh, I've done this, oh, I've done this. But when you don't have respect, when you don't know how to respect a man, then you're just going about it the wrong way. So you're supposed to respect a man and give him the chance to be the head and show him that he's actually in charge, and not always bringing him down or treating him like he. It doesn't work like that. Men, they feel the exact amount of pressure that is being put on them as the wife, from the wife. Single women, men always choose the women that respect them really well. They always feel it. They know. They notice it. They feel it from inside of them. Which woman respects them and honors them well, they know. They choose it. We can do so many things and try to why is a woman not loving me? Why is the basic thing is women love to be loved. They want to be loved. They want a man to always say, oh, I love you, oh, I want to be So there's problems when women always want to hear, "Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you." But when a woman doesn't respect a man, the man just starts drifting away. When a man just closes up and doesn't want to be disturbed, the woman is always saying, "Oh, let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. Listen to me. Let's talk about this." But when a man is closed up and doesn't want to just wants to be on his own, the woman feels, "Oh, he's losing it. He's not more attracted to me or whatever." Just allow him. Just be. Just let him be, and he will get over that. So you have to honor your husband and be grateful. Just be thankful. Don't
if you are in a company like in unbelievable people, when women are talking to each other, they always has jokes to each other, say tricks to each other with such kind of sarcasm. But if it is from his beloved woman, it's not very good. And when the woman is in such company, a woman just forget that she is a woman, and the same situation will be with her. When you acted in some way, the woman lose her sincerity. When the man sees that the woman is gentle and tender, so she has to be like a real woman, sincere. When the woman behaves like a man, she is rude. She says different jokes. Man doesn't interested in such a woman. That woman lose his interest. I would like to add, there is an example in our life. And Angela has such honor to his man. I'm very comfort situation with this woman. I'm very nice in her surrounding. When you man, if you honor your woman, they will respect you. Honor is the main things to man. Man created with such body, they need respect. They don't say you face to face, but they attitude to it during different relationship, during the situation.
So it happens in some families where there are difficult situations, and it happens where they quarrel or where there's some trouble in the home. So the right way to communicate with the husband and to just be on top of the situation. So a woman just wants to say everything and what she's feeling, and I saw this, and I saw the value we have on each other. It just falls to the lowest degree. Just I see it in my eyes. Of course I'm not going to say anything, but I see that the value you have towards each other, just you lose it. Just like I'm looking at my wife, and I just want to say that valuing each other is very important, and it helps the home, of course. So you know that inside of every woman there is a seed in every woman. There is no ideal man. There is no ideal man. But when you, just like inside of a seed, you, if you, so just like in a seed that has a value inside of it, a woman should have value inside of her. You feel and you know how to just deciding that I'm going to respect this man, I'm going to respect or not respect. They notice it and they feel it. So this is inside of every woman, and you need to understand that you need to constantly make up this decision if you want to respect or not respect. I want to talk about an example. My son that is in Canada, he talks about he became a Christian. He wasn't a Christian, he was an agnostic. So for almost because I criticized him on being an agnostic, he did not talk to me for a year or just more. So there's an example that in that your emotion is like a weapon. So I know a woman who she has 2 kids and nearly committed suicide because she did not understand what was happening. And she was like, oh, my husband is okay, he's healthy. And she told me about this, and I understood that the man is tired of the woman, and she just starts saying things that she's not supposed to say, and the husband stopped seeing her as a woman, and because she said something bad about his mother. So almost a year she just did not matter to him, and she did not understand why. So there is a value when a man tells a woman, tells the wife, I don't love you anymore. It might mean that you're not respecting him. You don't value him, you don't honor him, which means it's a way of saying there's something wrong. Just you should be careful in handling conflicts. So always start from yourself when trying to resolve conflict. You have to just start from you, that I am the person who is at fault. I'm the person who offended you. You have to start from you. So it pains me when I do something wrong or when I offend. Just you cannot teach yourself and say, oh, it's not always my fault. So just like it is on the slide, we need to learn how to start from ourselves. So when you focus on the fact that your husband is bad, it just becomes your reality. When you focus on where he's good and where his strength is, when you focus on that, it becomes your reality that he's a good man. That is just that simple. Whatever you focus on becomes your reality. So if there is like a phone there, the woman is holding a phone in the back, just if it looks small, right? But when you bring it closer and zoom in, it becomes big. It becomes real and very noticeable. So, but at first it looks very small, but you can enlarge it. You can zoom it, and then it just covers all your view, blocks all your view. Like, oh, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. It just becomes your focus, and it becomes your reality. We agree.
Следующая вещь, которую хочется сказать.
The next thing I want to talk about is
С мужем тоже пример еще.
just like we have a history, and my husband has an example. We just everyone is scared of being attacked, and just like, if we have like an event, we always get, someone will attack us, or there'll be an attack. So we've already studied and learned how to handle this situation. Like, if we have a quarrel, I just supposed to go to the other room and just not talk about it. But we agreed that we're going to solve every problem, every quarrel on the same day, and we're not going to keep it over to the next day. Whether it's by 3 or 4 in the morning, it doesn't matter. We're going to resolve the problem that same day. Even if I go to the next room, I will still write him a message and say, this is how I feel, and this is how the situation is right now. And it became a really big problem. Just to open the door and to just take one step, that moment I forgot about what problems we had. Everything just goes, everything just stops, because every woman's glory is the man, and every man's glory is Jesus. So when we respect and honor the blood that is around us, it becomes a reality, it becomes our life, and we should know he is under Christ, and whatever problem we have, whatever, we should just take a step and let the blood speak for us. So just like my wife saying, there's a problem, I don't want to talk about the problem, I don't want to go and resolve the problem. I just want to go sit alone, and just, in reality, that's how I want to do. But then when I see the message that comes from my wife, I just say, okay, I'll just go. But I don't know what I'm supposed to say to her, but I'll just go. And just the atmosphere changes the moment I just step into the room. If you cover, for especially single women, whatever cover you have is very important, because even God will honor this covering. So sometimes women get married, and then the man starts beating the woman, and then women start asking, oh God, why would you give me a man like this? It just goes back to whatever decision, whatever covering you want to use, God respects it, and whatever decisions you make, God respects it. So you have to be wise on what kind of covering, what kind of decisions you're making, because if you don't respect that covering, it just doesn't work. But when you respect and you work and you honor that covering, it works for you, and that covering works for you. So covering doesn't work if you are on top of the covering. It doesn't work like that. Also, so the next point, and then we'll move on to men. What a wise woman should do is to use God as your partner. Using God as your partner, as your bride. When women use God as as their partner, bride as the groom as God. He knows exactly what you want and exactly what your needs are.
Мы были любимы, эта потребность очень большая.
So women have a lot of needs, and just one man cannot be all those things. He must be cool. He must be able to do so many things. So God helps out with all those needs, all those. As a groom, when I was not married, I just told God, "You are my groom." I'm a normal woman. I want people to give me compliments, and I just started going out and strolling, and just giving myself compliments, and people were just giving me compliments, and whether they gave me compliments or not, I just knew that God is my groom. Because women, like right now, they're always asking, "Oh, give me flowers, give me a bouquet of flowers." Did they receive it? They receive it. Like a woman in Germany, she woke up in the morning and thought, "Oh, I want a bouquet of flowers," and then the next day, a woman just brought her a bouquet of flowers, and she just understood that God is her groom. And there's so many examples, because you should know that God should be your groom, and because men are always looking out to with different girls and different women. But if you know, just like I said, like God, I told God, like my husband, you should do this for me, even the things that I know a man cannot do. I just go before God and say, "God, you should do this for me," and then it just happens. There was a point where it was really difficult. My husband, he tried to comfort me, but I just was not comforted. I just did not want to be comforted. And at that point, I prayed and said, "God, you are my husband, and you are my." I told God, "God, you're my groom, and you're my husband. Please comfort me." And at that same point, my husband here, Van, he said something, and that was the exact same thing I wanted to hear, and the exact same thing that was able to comfort me. Because as God knows you in and out, just like no other man knows you. And we have a 3-year-old and one that's gonna be 5, and then they're always running up and down. And my husband comes back from work, he's very tired, and I just want to go and stroll. And then he told me something that I'm not going to repeat here. And then at that point, I just understood that what he just said, God, my husband, God who I made to be my husband, my groom, said something through my earthly husband, Vani. So I just understood that is exactly what God wanted to tell me. And when you make God your groom, your husband, he does not fail. He works through the man that he has made as your earthly husband, because you have already made God to be your groom, the one you look up to, your hero. So you should make sure you make God your groom and your husband, and make sure that he is in charge, and God will answer whatever you need, and God will make sure he meets your needs. Thank you very much. So now we have a little time. I just wanted to emphasize something about men, because my wife said something regarding wives. So maybe we can look at the next presentation, the first slide. I want to start by saying that the biggest problem for a man and a woman's world is totally different, and they are very, very different. So I want to say that this is a big problem in relationships, because you don't know, a man doesn't know how to relate to a woman and what she needs. So just look at the picture. It just shows the exact characteristics of a woman and a man in two different worlds. And I want to emphasize more on men. So how to relate, communicate, live in harmony with the wife, so we can have this real and ideal family that we're talking about. Because whether it's for 10-15 years, so we can live as one, just like says, you've probably heard of this man Bonjour. He's a man who can who respects women, who knows how to treat a woman, because he just knows and understands women's psychology, and he knows what a woman can give and what she cannot do. So he just understands the personality of women, and women just flocks to him, and women know when a man understands them. They can feel it, they understand it. There's another part where a good man, an active man, a man who is an ideal man, still has problems in his families, because women leave such men, because in reality he's a good man, he's a good husband. He honors his family, honors his wife, and there comes a time when the woman just leaves and gets divorced. It's just because the man doesn't know what a woman needs. It's not because he's not a good man, he just doesn't know what a woman needs. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what a woman really needs and how men should understand women. So we just take a lot of statistics from different people and from different examples, and especially especially Christians, they are getting divorced, and when women are leaving their husbands. And this is a real statistic that in Christianity right now there are so many divorces. So we don't have a lot of time. Who can tell us the time, please? How much time we have left? I think people are tired, so let's see if we can stay here for the next 30 minutes. So let's look at these points one by one. So the first point is romance. So romance is a good thing. It's not the most important thing, but it's very good. But for a woman, it's very important. It's very important, especially practical romance. It's very, very important. So my wife is a wise woman. She knows that I'm not romantic, and I'm not the woman agreed that he's not a romantic man. So she knows that when it could go for 2-3 weeks without any kind of practical romantic gesture. Why does it happen? Because the woman just keeps hanging in there. Oh, no, doesn't hold herself. She just is calm and very, very calm. She just listens. Oh, I love you from the husband. And then one day she just knows that no. And then the man starts thinking outside the box, starts giving her compliments, starts buying her gifts, and starts trying to win her heart back. And then he starts to he starts to relax again. He starts to um, he starts to to not do the things he used to do, like giving her all those compliments and gifts, and the woman just drifts away again. So I want to talk about something else about that. Being romantic is, for men and women, are two different things. What is being romantic for a man? It's like going out. Just the picture on the left is probably staying up all night and making fire and staying all that. But what is different from a woman's kind of idea of romance is doesn't matter what happens for women. Romance doesn't happen without the man. So because a man can stay with his friends, go fishing, and it just, for him, that's okay, and it's romantic. But for a woman, there's nothing romantic without a man. So a woman's a woman's gesture of being romantic doesn't happen without a man being there. So the phrase "we," what does it mean for a man? It could be, oh, a woman being in this room and the man being in the other room. For a man can be, that's the phrase "we." That because it means, oh, we were in the same house together, so we were together. But for women, what does "we" mean? It means when we're together, we're talking, holding hands, hugging and talking. That's what "we" means for a woman. So, for instance, we can be together and just go so many places together and be in the same house, and in the evening, every day, all day, we're together, and we're probably not talking and holding hands. And in the evening, I just noticed that there was nothing. I mean, my wife looks sad, and I start to wonder what is the problem. And I understand that it doesn't just matter because we are in the same house and we are walking around and I'm just around in the house. It also means that I have to talk to her, and I have to hold hands and talk about different things. So for a man, it's quite different, because you just know, for a woman, her idea of being romantic is they have to walk around the park and walk around the seaside and hold hands. That's what the idea of being romantic means for a woman. But for a man, it could be, oh, I'm just around her, I'm in the same area, and there is a woman who is clapping, because it's very important for a woman when a man is there and his presence is felt. So I should just say something, that men, they don't know how to guess these things on their own. So you have to, for my husband, I have to tell him what I want, and I have to say it straightforward. So men just don't know. So sometimes you have to tell them. Like on the next slide, what does a woman's idea of being romantic means? Just like on this slide, it's going out on dates, it's flowers, it's compliments, it's surprises, it's saying I love you. So you should a man just starts wondering and starts thinking, why does she need all these things? Why are these things very important? You should probably write all these points down and just keep looking at them from time to time to know this is what a woman wants, okay? So this is how bad it is, because we as men don't understand. Why should I waste money and buy flowers? Why should I waste money and go to restaurants, fancy restaurants, and eat with her when we can just order pizza and stay at home and eat? Why should we use the money we can use in shopping for groceries to go to a restaurant, to waste the money what we can eat for a week and just eat on one night? So I think someone probably is saying, I mean, pizza is okay. So just I start to use a man's logic to say, oh, why do we have to do these things and spend all this money? So I just understood that you don't have to try to think about it logically. Just do it, okay? It's like a formula. Just do it, okay? And do it blindly. So I told my husband to just write it out point by point, what is needed, what should be done. Just SMS, okay? Just SMS could mean a lot to a woman. Just in the morning, wake up and prepare her breakfast. It's so romantic for a woman. And we men just start thinking, oh, what is waking up to make breakfast, or what is writing her an SMS? We start thinking and trying to analyze it logically. Why do we need to do these things? For women, these little details, they mean a lot. Men always look at it in a global way. They always look at it generally. What should be done, what should not be done, why this, why not this, an SMS, why do we need it? But for a woman, these are small details that matter, and these are small details that should not be overlooked. So there's a man in the United States. He's a doctor. I just watched it on YouTube, how to care for a woman. So he just goes home and he feels like a hero. I have worked hard and made enough money. And the woman looks at him and says, oh, gonna give you points for the things you're doing. Oh, he came home, okay, he made money, that's 1 point. And he gave a compliment, that's 2 points. And who knows? I mean, it's just for you to start gathering these points and these grades that your wife is giving you, buying flowers or giving compliments. What is the understanding of what is an official invitation in a relationship? So, for instance, if a man likes a woman, and then he says, you should be my wife, or you should be my fiance, the woman just saying official phrases like, you should be the mother of my kids, you should be my wife officially. Women understand that these are official phrases and these are official questions. I'm inviting you to a restaurant, come with me on a date. Women, they want surprises and they want official invitations, invitations and statements from men. They notice it and they want to hear this. Like, for instance, I wrote down all these points and try to do them. Like, don't say things like, oh, can we go to the restaurant, or would you like to go to a restaurant? You have to say these things as statements. Tomorrow we're going to a restaurant, like an official invitation. They want to hear these things because they're going to try to poke you, say, oh, so you don't want to go? If you say, maybe we should go to the restaurant, they'll say, oh, so you don't want to go? But you have to make these things official and take decisions as a man and tell her, tomorrow we're going to the restaurant, and then the woman just loses she just relaxes and says, "Oh yeah, he knows what he's doing." The next slide is what do women want? What are the needs of a woman? Messages, attention, giving them time, giving your time, and gifts. So these are things that women need. Like, for instance, my wife, she loves to dress well, and she loves to dress beautifully, and dress be in what is in vogue in fashion. And she spends money wisely. She doesn't just waste money. And well, me, I want to buy a car, I want to buy things that are my needs, and you have to just pay attention to also what she needs. So an ideal man understands that this is my wife, and how you see a man gets excited over getting a new car. So for instance, when I was at my husband's home, and his father is no more alive, and he wrote down points on how a woman should be treated by a man. He wrote things like should buy her clothes, should buy her adorning items, should buy her beautiful things. He just wrote them in reality to buy. He wrote these things down. That was his father, and he's no more alive. So talking about messages, and relationship, so women and men, they just relate every day. It could be for an hour, not for 5 minutes. Not for 5 minutes. We create time to relate, to talk to each other, to have some sort of communications. An hour in the evening, not 5 minutes. Even if the man wants to sleep, we make time, we make up our minds to dedicate an hour to each other. Doesn't matter if you want to, if you're tired or you don't want to talk, we try not to miss this time, because if you do, you can slowly drift away from your couple. You can slowly drift away from your husband or your wife without even knowing. We always say that husbands and wives should be friends. It shouldn't be the wife has different friends and girlfriends where she has to cry to. Okay, she can have girlfriends and she can have friends, but the husband should be a close friend, her best friend, where she talks to. Because I can say that my wife is indeed my best friend, and I've been married for 3 years, and I did not know that I needed someone who I can open up to, who I can talk to, who I can just I didn't have friends like that who I could just talk to and let out my heart to. But my wife became that best friend that I needed. My wife became the friend that I could talk to at any time, and I became her best friend too, because I remember when my dad, when I was still single, and my father told me one point that I will never forget is he told me that you should be confident that your wife that you can give your life for your wife. So that's something I will never forget. It's that your wife can stand as your support, as your friend, and that's when you know you can get married, that you're ready for marriage. I did not understand that there's something like that where my wife could be the support that I needed. It could be my source for strength, and I did not understand it. And I think it's very important for us to understand as men. So we can look at the next slide. So let me say something about something that is not so popular. Men, I just want to emphasize this a little bit. For women, women have a lot of fears, and there was a situation where my girlfriend, she so there's a lot of ways and a lot of easy ways to solve the problem of fear for a woman. So women are always scared. Maybe she's always wondering, oh, maybe he doesn't love me, or maybe I'm not so beautiful. She's always having these fears. Why is it important for a man to always tell the woman, oh, you're very beautiful and I love you? Because the woman sometimes forget. Women have a really short-term memory regarding that the man loves her. So for women, they need to hear over and over. Women want to hear over and over again that, oh, you're beautiful, or oh, I love you, because they have a short-term memory in remembering how much the husband loves them. So the man can look at himself in the mirror and see, oh, I'm a hero, I'm a god, I'm...
When a man says that you are beautiful, you're very nice, it's a very important word. You have to write down and do everything. You have to do. Please, man, do it. You have to, it's sometimes very difficult to understand, but you have to do it. There is some situation when my friend, she was a director of a camp. She was afraid of women's fear. She just goes with Vanya, and she just wanted to share about his words. And Vanya told her only one thing. I don't run, but I'm to tell the truth, I don't remember this word. Before this, Angela tried to help that sister just to pacify her too. And it happened that I go and we came across, and we just was passing for some minutes, and she changed, and her fears disappeared, her voice disappeared. I didn't remember. I just say something very useful, just say some important. You have to just pacify, yeah? Pacify, just if they worry, just say, don't worry, everything will be okay. Pastor it's like an example of Pastor Sunday. There was a situation when they were told that they wouldn't have children, but the pastor said, it's my problem, I can solve this problem. But he came to Pastor Bose and said, it's my problem, don't worry, keep calm, just it's my burden. Because sometimes women is very gentle, yes, and the man has to come to her and just support her with some words. And sometimes a woman has a peace inside. And we gave all the advisement, and we are nearly finishing. And we are very glad that you took something for your life. Let's give a big glory to our God. The main idea, the person has to do this stuff. We always share our knowledge with everybody, because I had sometimes I had some trouble, but you have to put some rules in front of you and do it. Sometimes women don't agree with you to do this, but do it. Thank you for your attention.